Hey, what's up? First of all, thank the Lord. I got an interview for the NVIDIA Ignite internship. So that means I passed the OA, I believe. At least they said they reviewed my application. I would like to move forward in the process, which leads to the first round interview. The first round interview is essentially just going to be a matter of talking about your resume and talk about NVIDIA's products and your understanding. That's really exciting for me because I was really worried I was going to be much more on the lead code side. And what worries me about lead code is that I get really nervous, especially when it comes to like coding in front. No, actually, that's not true. I get really nervous when it comes to legal questions. When it comes to coding in front of other people, that's not that much of an issue. But like, legal questions specifically worry me because syntax always throws me off. For example, with the OA, I know there was a problem. The second coding problem. Um, I had like I figured out the logic had to go. Like that logic is really the main thing with leak code. But what threw me off was that my case, I was only passing a certain number of test cases. I wasn't sure why because my logic was correct, and then I realized that I was using the wrong sorted function for I think a list when you meant like I was using one you use for words instead of a list or something like that, and that's what threw me off. But eventually it worked. So thankfully I even got past the OA, and thankfully it's not it's more of talk about what you've done. In that sense, I think I'm more comfortable because that's how my previous interview was. Um, I think I did pretty well. I think really what's going to be a matter of is going to review all my projects, remembering my thought process and how I did certain things, the problems I ran into, and how I overcame those problems. I think that's really the key thing. Like, how do you overcome this problem when you're building this URAG eval tool? Also, I was looking on Twitter the other day, or today actually, and I saw like some ML interview question. I was like, if your RAG pipeline, right, was having, you saw your RAG pipeline was leading to a bunch of hallucinations, what would you do to improve it? I was like, that would be an amazing question because then I remember I did a RAG eval thing, and basically the way I would improve it is that you can break your RAG pipeline to two stuff. Essentially, you have your retriever and your generator. So what you want to see is your retriever retrieving the relevant document, and if your retriever is retrieving the relevant document, right, then you can now say this hallucination is likely based on the generator side, where it's like, okay, so the LLM has the documents that is relevant to the question or the query. So now why is the LLM generating the wrong answer? And that's probably going to be like, oh, maybe your system prompt is off. Maybe it's something weird there. But now you can go look into that. So I think that'd be a question I would love to have fun with. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm really interested in how that's going to look like. I'm also going to do some more deep dive into NVIDIA and their hardware teams and figure out what type of teams and products I should really have a full knowledge of. I think something that's I'm hoping that's to my benefit is that I'm really excited about NVIDIA as a company. So I always just try to stay in the loop, whether it's with their LinkedIn post, Twitter, YouTube, just like knowing what's going on here and there. So that's gonna be really I hope that helps. Like because I know I can't prepare for every single question, right? But what I can do is that if I do have a general based knowledge, then if they were to ask me about like, oh, what do you think about NVIDIA's I have another good example. Like NVIDIA Omniverse is something I've talked about, so that might not be the best question. But like, what do you think about this tool or this tool? And I could be like, oh yeah, I really like how you guys do this. I really like how you guys do this. I think this would be a really great future area of exploration for this and this reason, right? And I think this is some friction I've noticed when I was trying to use this tool. I think many other users at my skill level may be having this issue, and maybe that's something we can address during the time span of this internship, something like that. I also have to look how to answer questions like that. um, I am excited. I am really, really excited. I think NVIDIA as a company just really excites me in general. I went to the conference. I did the discussion stuff as well. But like, just as a company, they have really passionate people and they have really cool products. And I think, and they have a really cool direction. And I think those three things just make this really, really exciting place, right? So I really hope I can ace these interviews. The second round interview is more of a deeper dive into the technical related project experience. So I think that's going to be less resume and more applied into the internship itself. So it's going to be like, okay, let's say we're working on computer use, right, and laptops or something like that. Just go like, okay, what do you understand about this? And then um how do you go about doing this? What problems do you foresee happening with this? What are the limitations of this approach? Blah blah blah. So I think that's how I interpret it. I hope I can find out more because I'm still um when I say like this is how I think it's gonna be, like let me just be honest, I don't know, right? I have no idea. I have no idea at all. So I think I just have to like play, not play it safe, but just keep on learning and keep on asking people that I know who might have an idea. Let me see what else is there. I think it's exciting. I think it's really exciting. I know. I don't know if I mentioned this in this cut of the video or this draft of the video, but I applied for the NVIDIA software and NVIDIA Ignite software internship, and then technically this is for the NVIDIA Ignite hardware internship with hardware teams with a software focus. So I think that thing is really sticking out to me because like, what does that necessarily mean? Obviously, hardware teams obviously have a software component to this, and I'm going to try and figure out what they're necessarily looking for and interns to join such teams and seeing if how I can see okay, these are the values that they're looking for, and these are the values I have or experience I have, and vice versa, and all that. So that's something I'm also going to be looking to do. And also just making sure that I can speak well. My enunciation is good. I'm not too nervous. I don't go like, "Hey, I built this rack pipeline and I built an evaluator to one, and this is why I did this." And I'm like, this is blah blah blah. I don't want to go like that. I kind of want to be concise. Actually, not too concise. I want to be fluent. I want to be audible. I want to be confident because I know that sometimes when I get really nervous, then it becomes a matter of where I said a bunch of cool stuff, but you couldn't even hear what I was saying. So I really hope that's not the case with the interview. Um, Overall, it's exciting. It's really exciting. I really hope to ace it. I scheduled it for next week Friday, and if next week Friday doesn't work, then I'll do next week Monday. I'll do the following week Monday. The reason I did that was because I have a midterm on Monday that I have to actually study for, and I have a midterm on Wednesday that I also have to study for. So I didn't want to have a situation where I had to go prep for the interview last minute. So I think Friday and Monday just work ideally in that scenario. But yeah, besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.